kings for taxi drivers or something. It's like, 1 is just the nuts, and 5 left the window open, was smoking, and crashed 3 times. Like, no.
There were so many analogies that you could have gone with there, and that one was not one that I expected. Let me just put it that way.
I like to keep you on your toes, TJ. If I became predictable, then you'd be able to predict me. So let's not do that.
Could have gone for golf scores.
Golf scores?
Yeah, like a face hunter deck is like playing a par 3 golf hole.
Right.
One, that's a hole in one. That's the best.
That's a hole in one. Yeah, then you get 2, which is like an albatross on a par 5. And then you get like... Yeah, that's 3 under par. Yeah. 3 under par for a hole is an albatross.
I didn't even know that. And I play golf a lot.
I think Americans might call it a double eagle, actually.
I think it's a double eagle, yeah, because there's an eagle and a double eagle.
Yeah, so that's an albatross in the UK.
It honestly makes perfect sense because, in real life, when I think double eagle, I think albatross.
Yeah, because that's exactly how animals work, right? You got 2 eagles and you leave them together long enough and you end up with an albatross a few years later.
Yeah. Just like, you get two birdies and, you put them in a cage for a year and then you come back, it's an eagle.
Yeah, so like you get 4 birdies.
I know that, I don't know if you guys have it in the UK, but there are these little capsules that have like a sponge inside. You put the capsule in warm water and the plastic coating on the outside melts. And then the sponge starts to form and it's like an animal.
We probably have
what I'm talking about?
But I'm not 12.
Okay. Well, neither am I, but I know about it. That's what I imagine it. All right, we're too far down the rabbit hole, Neil. Get back on track. There's a game of Hearthstone happening.
I wanted to go down rabbit holes and Arctic fox holes and all sorts of things. But yeah, there is a game of playing, and CaelesLuna making the play that I always forget you can make, and I'm going to keep saying I forget you can make it until one day I remember. You can just play the bristleback. It's a card you can just put on the board. You don't have to wait until turn 1,000,000. Yeah.
And this is a tough scenario here. CaelesLuna trying to math out if it's better to value trade. So let's say you value trade and like aim shot comes out, right? Then it's better to have value traded. But let's say you value trade and then like pack runner plus spell comes out. I think it breaks out to about even. But if that's the case, I would always err on the side of stop more damage against face hunter.
Right. Yeah.
That's what this play does.
Yep. Yeah, because the other plays involve tapping or messing around, taking even more damage. It used to be my greatest arena meme that if you're playing Hunter against Warlock, you're both trying to kill the same person at the same speed, and the Warlock has ended up dying. So you want to avoid that eventuality.
Yeah.
It's still true, but modern Warlock with the quest and so on gets so much health back that it's not as true as it once was. But Caelus' hand is actually pretty grim. Going to see a lot of raised deads, I suspect, over the next 2 or 3 turns just to stay alive.
Yep. Okay. DreadEye just going, shipping everything face. Some of this is going to be healed back.
He hovered over the piercing shot to sort of tell us what he was thinking, I think, there. Okay, you want to do this trade, which is fine. I'm going to do you for 5, force you to raise dead, and hit you with all these minions. And if you want to play a giant, I don't care, because I'm going to keep hitting you with all these minions.
Yeah.
Job's done.
A lot of damage, down to 18.
Yeah.
Is that a School Spirits? Oh no, Soul Rend. Ooh.
That slows things down a lot. Obviously, with the raised dead, can get the bristleback back if needed.
Yeah. Destroy 4 cards from the deck. Wouldn't really get closer to like activating the bristleback. Obviously, it does get closer, but you would have to think that the game would go on for, at the very least, 4 more turns. which I don't know if that's going to be the case, right? The other play would be Flesh Giant, just playing a Flesh Giant. Then you're taking at least 5 more damage, and you're just playing a big minion.
But you do have something after the Soul Rend, even if it's an 8-3 or whatever it becomes after that.
Yeah. Secret option number 3 is to raise dead and just replay Cult Neophyte plus Bristleback on this turn.
Has the advantage of putting Lifesteal up, has the advantage of lowering the Flesh Giant going into next turn.
Ooh, and now, the Touch of Natharism can come out and the Flesh Giant. Okay, and this also gives quest completion, the first round of quest completion. So CaelesLuna going to go up to 20 and get Flesh Giant down with Battlemaster in hand. So
this was clearly correct.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Now DreadEye has to estimate if he thinks he can get there and ignore the Giant. Take that back. I mean, he has no choice but to actually ignore the Giant. So
can't kill the Giant no matter what. Well, no, that's not true. Could face with these minions, Volpertinger, and then Marsul Cub, and Intrepid Initiate, and then attack with the Crescent, and then clear your entire board and take 8 damage.
That'll teach him.
Yeah, I honestly think that this is. I think this is just play out your minions and then hero power, and next turn Barak Kodobane, play a 1-mana spell. Oh, and this is going to be sick for Soul Rend.
Yep.
It's going to activate the Bristleback, or get very close to activating the Bristleback. Because this is going to be 7 minions destroyed.
It'll activate the Bristleback the turn after this one, which is actually the turn that CaelesLuna can even play it, because he wouldn't have enough mana this turn anyway. So yes, this is perfect.
Yeah. So you Soul Rend tap, and that brings him down to 11 cards, and the next turn you draw your 10th one, so you could double Bristleback if anything, or just single Bristleback plus do something else. Or could also go Soul Rend Cult Neophyte, or just Cult Neophyte Soul Rend. Oh, that'll turbo accelerate. Holy moly.
And then next turn you've got double Bristleback.
Yeah, and DreadEye knows the Bristleback is there because CaelesLuna played a Raise Dead with only having 2 minions die. So
if you lock 2 Bristlebacks in a cage, TJ, for long enough, what do you get?
A Flesh Giant.
We're going to find out.
Yep.
You get a 1-0 lead.
This would be exactly 10 cards left. That was nicely mapped. Oh, okay. I see what DreadEye's doing here. He's just going to go for the I'm going to kill you with spells plan.
Now we're going to lock 2 Bristlebacks in the same cage and get the Giant. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. And
love it.
CaelesLuna can just start Cult Neophyte and Bristlebacking the Cult Neophyte.
Yeah.
And then playing another Flesh Giant. That's a lethal setup even without the Battlemaster in hand. And yeah, this one is, I think this one's done.
And that's bad news for DreadEye, I think, because again, there's that Shaman deck lurking. Actually, what got banned? I completely forgot to check what got banned. I was too busy talking about Double Eagles. Yeah, the Shaman did actually get banned. I was going to say that's a bit too dangerous.
Yep, Shaman and Demon Hunter. Shaman was banned away from CaelesLuna, Demon Hunter banned away from DreadEye. And that shows you, what CaelesLuna's game plan was to kind of target these more aggressive decks with the lineup.
And I like that. Because it wasn't a 1-deck target. You couldn't bring a 4-combo deck very easily, or 4-combo lineup. So you're always going to bring at least one, like Hunter or Shadow Priest or something thrown in there, unless you're incredible and come with some crazy lineup. And so you're not just targeting one deck, you're kind of targeting 1.5 or 2 decks in your opponent's lineup on average. Yeah, that just works so much better, obviously, than relying on them to bring. We saw DreadEye's lineup kind of targets mage to some degree, but you can't rely on just bringing a mage. It's not quite that easy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can a little bit, but obviously Mage did not have that much success. It was actually a pretty high percentage brought deck, right? And there's only 3 players in the top 8 that ended up having Mage in their lineups. I think it was like half the field brought Mage, and less than half of the top 8 is Mage, so that usually means it underperformed.
Yeah, it got quite a good win rate, but that's because it didn't get banned, right? It got 55%, but 55% for a deck that nobody's banning is kind of expected.
Yeah.
Like Warlock has the lowest win rate, but it gets banned all the time.
Yeah, and it's hard to say because it seemed like a lot of the Mage players played against each other. They were stacked in the same group. Like Group C had all 4 Mages, I think, in the group. But yeah, that's getting down a different rabbit hole. There's a lot of different rabbit holes to jump in today. Really feeling that Arctic Fox energy. But yeah, CaelesLuna is going to move over to the Quest Rogue. This is a little bit different than what we saw from Muzzy. This is, I would say, like a more standard variant. There's still an SI7 infiltrator in there. And maybe these players have just mapped it out and they're like, I need one more SI7 card in order to make this work. So, and again, it does have some matchups that it can hit where the SI7 Infiltrator will actually do something. There are a lot of secret hand buff paladins and mage, right? We just talked about mage. It can sometimes be okay against mage to get rid of the ice barrier. But the main purpose of it is that it's got the tag SI7 at the very beginning of it, and it's reasonably statted for its cost. So why not throw it in there just to get that quest moving along? And now DreadEye is going to move over to his Warlock, the Quest Fatigue Warlock, which I think this is card for card the same as what we just saw from CaelesLuna.
It doesn't have the clever things in or the weird things in, so it's probably the same. Like the 8-6 thing that's name I can't remember of ever. So yeah, it's probably the same lineup.
Anatheron.
That's the one. I died to that today as well. After you said it was rubbish, and then we saw how good it was, and now I've seen how good it was. Best card in Hearthstone.
Yeah. There's a lot of people played the Knoll too, whatever that thing is, 10 mana.
Oh yeah, I don't understand that card.
Yeah.
Just don't get it. So picking the number of SI7s.
Yeah.
I remember the dragon decks. You used to sort of know, like, you need 2 dragons in your opening hand to activate each other, and you did it by trial and error. You didn't math it. You just kept playing, going, one more needed, no, take it back out again until you're happy with the number you have, right? You don't calculate these things. You just play. CaelesLuna has ended up with 1 infiltrator. Muzzy ended up with 2, and that would just be their own personal results factoring into that, I just think. I imagine they both think the card is trash. Poor card.
I love this play. This is like my favorite play to make in both Quest Rogue and in Garrote Rogue. Just to jam the extortion on 1. It's incredible.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, you do it in the other Vogue as well. Okay. I guess you've got to do it sometime.
So you don't. It depends on your hand, right?
Right.
In Garrote Rogue, I'm talking about a completely different rogue, but a lot of times you just need hand space. And so against a deck that's not going to build a board where you're not going to be able to dump it against anything but your own minions, you just do it, right? Like against Mage, because sometimes you need to do your combo faster, and that 3 damage might actually make a difference. And usually you're not attacking face past a certain point anyway. So, all right. Ugh. I mean, things are going to start to slow down for CaelesLuna.
Yeah.
Going to be looking for Swindle, Secret Passage, Greyheart Sage over the next couple turns, just to try and refill the hand. The Scaps is kind of stranded because there's nothing to combo it and nothing to really play from the discounts. So,
yeah, I think we haven't heard the last of this, people discussing whether Scabs should or shouldn't be in this deck. It seems to be one of those divisive cards. I actually really liked it when I tried the deck out. It was the only card I played in my deck that felt like it had any sort of power level that mattered, but there are better rogue players than me saying that the card's just not very good. I mean, anyone's a better rogue player than me.
Job's done.
Come on, Neil. You're a great rogue player. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Actually, literally, I've never seen you play rogue, but I have that much.
Exactly. Nobody has. That's the point. Yeah,
The Grey Heart Siege right after. That's a good call from DreadEye to go for the Soul Rend because, I mean, he probably had to read that Grey Heart Siege wasn't there, else it would have been played. But just cutting the amount of outs off the top, because this deck can get a little bit stranded, especially if it's not picking up any of the cards. Oh, okay. This doesn't progress any quest portion, right? If it did, DreadEye could play Baron Scavenger and Flesh Giant. No, it's not there just yet. I think I still like the Flesh Giant better. Could go.
more.
Yeah, it's just more power, right? Flesh Giant plus Cold Neophyte.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
more
just more
stuff.
power. Yeah.
Sets up lethal over the next 2 turns, so that's something. Okay. Hit you.
I'm probably just playing the scabs here.
Yeah, just pretend that you're okay. Oh, it's lethal. No, it's not. I'm crazy.
It's lethal next turn, but DreadEye's going to play a taunt, so... Actually, DreadEye's going to bristleback. Can tap, go down to 10. That activates the bristleback, and I would be incredibly surprised if this Cold Neophyte doesn't get killed by the bristleback and brought down. There's only the CaelesLuna's face, the eyebrow. Oh. The eyebrow action. Yeah, but that's getting bristlebacked. Yep.
Oh my.
And that should spell the end of the game. I don't really think that CaelesLuna has a chance here. The only thing that could maybe bail him out is completing the quest this turn. Or not completing the quest, but getting the progress and then getting the Super Sap card. I really need to learn the names of the gizmos.
Oh, I'm terrible. They're just all gadgets and Wizmos and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think this SI7 would get the quest, because that's 3 cards played. So CaelesLuna could go Grey Heart Sage, SI7. That would move the quest forward, get 1 gizmo. Oh, this is efficient. Okay. Because now it could hit the gizmo and then Wicked Stab and clear both minions off the board. This is really smart. Needs to stab gizmo. I don't even know what it looks like.
I know what it looks like. It's not that.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was actually quite close.
And put the Cold Neophyte on top. I like this. That's the one that really doesn't have any impact. All right, Battle Masters lethal. Only one in the decks. It's a 1 of 10. I don't think it was discarded. There it is.
There it is. Obviously. Yep. But there was Soul Rend backup anyway. It's not like it was unlikely for him to win there. It's just ended it quicker, I feel. And 1 apiece. Pretty rapid stuff today, TJ. We've had all sorts of discussions, but the Hearthstone is rocketing along.
Yeah, the series has been a little bit slower. The Warlock's taken some time to actually get rolling, having to get pretty far down in their decks, and we've had some close ones back and forth. But yeah, the Warlock wins on the board, and now we kind of get to the real meat of the decks. DreadEye with Face Hunter and Shadow Priest left remaining, where CaelesLuna has the OTK Demon Hunter with a special guest appearance by Magtheridon.
Yeah.
The rogue.
The Magtheridon I do not understand, I must admit. So I'm looking forward to CaelesLuna teaching me, or you could teach me if you know, but I don't know, and I'm not going to put you under that sort of pressure. I mean, it's a 12-12 that you can activate really easily, so there's that going for it.
Yeah.
I guess Warlock can't kill it if you activate it. You just beat giants with your 12-12.
Yeah. I mean, I asked CaelesLuna, like, if it's just the nuts, just the move to go for the Magtheridon. I didn't even put in the key cards. That's a whiff. But yeah, Magtheridon, there it is. CaelesLuna said he was convinced by Nails. If you're familiar with Nails, one of the best ladder players out there, hasn't been able to translate those results to tournaments just yet. But Nails consistently in very high legend, and I think one of the best like innovators as well, because you kind of have to be when you're talking about ladder and how it's always changing. And he said that Nails is one of the biggest Magtheridon enthusiasts in North America, whatever that means.
There's not many Magtheridon enthusiasts in North America, I wouldn't have thought. Perhaps there are.
Well, there's Nails, and now CaelesLuna, there you go. And
they were in chat yesterday actually discussing things together as well. So if they're there again today, hi.
I will say that Shadow Priest has absolutely no way to respond to a Magtheridon. Just, there's not a single thing in the deck that can kill a Magtheridon.
3 Void Shards.
Good luck getting 3.
Yeah. Good luck on that.
Then, like, you played over 2 turns, you're dead. That's if you can even magically get. Even if you had 10 mana and could craft the perfect hand, right? You're not killing it, because you're not going to have board, because that's how Magtheridon works. When it pops out, there's just no board that exists. There's no Death Rattle minions except for Shadowed Spirit, which doesn't have a Death Rattle that creates a minion. So. We'll see, though. Shadow Priest can mount some pretty incredible damage. The problem is Shadow Priest is a very snowbally deck, and if your board gets cleared once, unless you've managed to pile on a decent chunk of damage in that time frame, you are not going to get there. And DreadEye's opening hand is Mankrik plus Thrive in the Shadows, great, right? That's a fantastic combination, because there's only a limited amount of spells in the deck. There's only Void Shard and the Raise Dead, and so you add in the Mankrik spell, and you basically just draw it for 3, get a 3/7 and the immediate damage, and then you still get to draw a card. So that's a great card, but the rest of the mulligan ends up drawing the Benedictus in the opening hand, which that's not what it's for. It's not in the deck to actually play. It's just there to give you the hero power.
Yeah, it's just patches, right? That's exactly what it is. You just don't want this card. Although it's a better designed patches because it's playable. Like, you don't want it, but it doesn't make you cry. It's just like, all right, I've got the Benedictus. At least it's a 5/6 on 5. Maybe it gets over the line sometimes. So at least it fits. I like. The lessons learned from patches are you want your patches to be at least vaguely playable, and it is vaguely playable.
Yeah.
It also looks really good.
Yep. Pretty cool. But here's going to be the interaction in action. There it is. Get a nice little 3/7. He draws a 1 mana anything here. Ooh, whiffed, but hey, I'll take a 2 mana 3/7 that has charge over literally any other card on turn 3. Okay, that's a decent pickup. CaelesLuna can now hero power an I-Beam down, the Angry Ogre, or just Ethereal Augmerchant I-Beam to have a little bit more stuff on board. And this also gets that Spectral Sight over to Outcast position, which is incredibly important. But nicely done. I like that.
Yeah, seeing the problems, though, that it does give the Demon Hunter down to 3 cards. Obviously, Spectral Sight, and can bounce back really fast. We always say that about Demon Hunter, but a handful of things, which is kind of rare for the Priest to be in this position.
Oh, what was that picked out with that? Was that Spectral Sight? Oh, no, it's Philosophy. Okay. Oh, hits double jump. That's going to complete the quest. at least the first portion of it. Not the greatest in terms of actual discounts. It's going to be the 2 philosophies of the Il'gynoth. Though, if a second Moarch's picked up, there's a possibility for a very early lethal. But at this point, even though the philosophies are free, those are the pieces that you wouldn't want to be free. You'd rather have the Moarch free because the philosophies you can load up in advance. I think CaelesLuna is going to need some pretty big draws here in the next couple turns in order to try and fight back. This was a great opening for DreadEye after having, you know, the best 1-2 combo opening hand, but then a mediocre other 2-card opening hand.
Trying to work out if there's actually a lethal setup as the Magtheridon just comes to play. Completely unwelcome guest. No, there's no lethal here. Anytime soon.
And Magtheridon can't even come down right now. Well, it could. You'd have to hero power the Wriggling Horror first.
Do you have to play Il'gynoth as a minion here?
Oh, no.
Arcanist, I-beam Il'gynoth and just hope it all goes away?
Patient.
I mean, it's absolutely garbage, but is there anything better than that garbage?
I bet you can do this. Time grows short.
Yeah, okay. That's the fair compromise, right?
Yeah. I think the outs here for CaelesLuna would be to hit like second Spectral Sight or Acrobatics. Or go like Illidari Studies into Glide, right? To like turbo complete the quest and kind of reset the hand. But he's certainly running out of time just because DreadEye is actually assembling a decent amount of just burst damage in the hand.
Yeah.
Still no Attendant. Still no Void Touched Attendant, which is like the ultimate damage from hand. But this is a lethal setup if CaelesLuna is not able to remove any of this.
Yeah, I can't see how CaelesLuna can win the game, even if he gets into a position where he can remove it, to be honest. But that was dead from quite a way out. The first clear was nicely done from Caeles, but nothing was picked up from that Spectral Sight, and so the game just folds at that point. One of the great strengths of this Shadow Priest is if your opponent misses a beat, you kill them, and that's the end of the game. And CaelesLuna missed a beat, killed, end game 2-1. But the Hunter still has to get out of this somehow.
Yeah, and I think the best chance is going to be against the Rogue. OTK Demon Hunter I actually think is pretty well positioned against Hunter, just because you have so many ways to like bounce back up in a big way. It does depend on being able to pick up like a relatively early first Fellscream Blast and Immolation Aura, but you can expend a lot of your combo pieces to go for these big health swings. And, you know, you have some time to get that done. Like 6 turns is about as fast as Hunter can go if you're keeping their board a tiny bit in check. And that's plenty of time to draw through a lot of the deck to try and find that additional healing, whether it be I-Beams or Fellscream Blast. So we'll see, though. Hunter does have some fancy new toys, like the aim shot, to try and end things even faster than they have in previous metagames.
Yeah, the aim shot is a... So I'm going crazy. I was thinking you were talking about piercing shot. Yes. Continue. Proceed with the conversation. It's fine. We're good again. You were talking about golf. Where were we? Okay, good.
Yeah. Talking about birds.
Yeah. So what's your handicap anyway?
-5. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, what do you shoot? What sort of scores do you get? And then take off 72, and that's roughly how the handicap works.
Like 80s.
All right, that's tidy.
Yeah, it's been like 5 years though, so probably like low hundreds now.
Yeah, I've shot an 81 and haven't played for about 5 years myself, and expect low hundreds also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I much prefer ornithology these days.
But on the golf course, you can do both at once.
Can't be a golfer without also being an ornithologist. All right, this hand is much better, I think, from CaelesLuna. The Tusk Piercer plus Sigil of Alacrity will complete the first portion of the quest next turn because you hit, trade back the Peddler, and you get the extra draw from the Sigil of Alacrity right off the bat. So at least CaelesLuna will be able to cycle a little bit faster in the early game, and has Talented Arcanist and Fellscreen Blast already. That's kind of the, all right, I'm in trouble right now.
Yeah,
kind of button.
And that button is
sight.
going to be needed pretty soon. Always this ongoing decision.
Well, CaelesLuna could just go for the original plan with Tusk Piercer, and then the trade back, and then set up for Talented Arcanist Fellscreen Blast next turn, and then move the Spectral Sight over to the left side of the hand to complete the second portion of the quest. But opts for this way, and yeah, we'll just hold and then try and go for the hit, trade, Illidari Studies, find something, go to the next turn. If this hits the give your minions +1 attack, this is going to be a lot of damage. Taunt again! That's the second one.
I can't believe it.
Yep. And I think it's probably just a hero power. I guess not. This is more damage over 2 turns, but less damage immediately.
How far is CaelesLuna from lethal here? I know it's only turn 3. But every time the board gets locked out, I do the Raven thing, because Raven always does this too, and try to work out, can I win in 2 turns from now?
It's a long ways away. Even if Il'gynoth is picked up and discounted, it's a long ways away.
Okay.
These are terrible.
What would have been good?
Card draw, Spectral Sight, Crimson Sigil Runner, Glide. Probably not Glide, actually. The aforementioned card draw. Kurt, not even that great.
No, he really isn't, is he? Well then. I-Beam. 2 mana I-Beam on the 4/5. It sounds grim, but it might be. You can't do that. Is there anything? There isn't anything better though.
I think you can, because I mean, Fellscreen Blast just really doesn't do. Fellscreen Blast takes more damage off the board, but a lot of the healing is wasted.
Yeah, I thought that CaelesLuna might hold on for 1 turn for this.
All right.
This part of the play.
I like this. Maximizing the healing by putting the damage onto the 2/1. That was smart. I like the little deviation there at the end from CaelesLuna, because the damage will be healed up anyway, and I think at this point you want the Persistent Peddler, because you're going to need the immediate draw, and you may not have, like, that 2/1 could get bigger next turn, so I don't think there's any reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, next turn it might just be play Moarg, I-Beam, play Kurt and kill off what's left on the board, and try and actually get the board with your minions and keep the Peddler as a minion even is a potential, depending what happens, is a potential way forward.
Yeah.
Might just be too much on DreadEye's side because the Wriggling Horror is going to be quite irritating, but definitely playing the Peddler as an actual Hearthstone card rather than just something that fetches you other Hearthstone cards is on the cards here.
Not playing around Kurt! He kind of played around Kurt. He just put his minions in random spots on the board.
Do you recommend this route through the board? You don't?
No.
Strange though.
All right. Yeah, could go Moarg, I-Beam, Kurt. You would Moarg, I-Beam the 3/2, trade the 1/3 over the 1/1, and then.
Oh, but the Kurt would cost 4 then, right? Because the I-Beam is reduced from 1 to 1.
Yeah, you're right. So you do it this way. Oh, I was just gonna get the peddler on board. Huh, this is interesting. I would have thought that the...
Doing business.
Oh no, trading it!
Okay. And just having a bad turn to set up a good turn next turn. I think this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because with 30 health, CaelesLuna is okay. Especially with an I-beam coming next turn with a Moarg and the Kurt. That will make sense to me. That unlocks a really good turn next turn. No Rhino will be a pleasant surprise for CaelesLuna now.
That was the expression that CaelesLuna gave. Fully expected Rhino to come out. That is an Immolation Aura, I believe. Certainly is. Can't see any reason why that wouldn't be played.
Yep, he's going face, so he's playing the other. Sorry?
Yeah, really needs card draw though. Second Illidari studies, we're looking at double jump, second spectral sight, double acrobatics still in the deck. Could keep trading the persistent peddler. There's just one place for this. Oh yeah.
Upstairs.
Oh, Wrangler's great draw. Just try and dig through the deck, find some big stuff, be able to challenge. Okay, there's double jump. Spectral sight. Oh yeah.
Here they come. Cards.
Pleasure doing business.
They be coming.
Peddler. Oh yeah.
Very excited over some incredibly mediocre cards. I love it.
But just any cards at this point are good.
So card,
Literally cards. Literally just cards. Yeah, just kind of playing out the stuff here. I mean, there's a chance that Luna could just play for, you know, quest completion at some point and winning with a 7/7. I think it's just full board control from this point. I don't think this warrants an Immolation Aura just yet.
A Kurt and another Kurt coming up.
Yeah. I mean, CaelesLuna could just go like Hawk Merchant, Moarg, I-Beam.
I think that's next turn, right? Because CaelesLuna is thinking the only way that anything bad happens would be Rhino, really.
Yeah.
Because 13's healthy enough, so saving that for next turn and then going to get rid of the Rhino with all that stuff seems good to me.
Hungry, aren't ya?
Okay, Pig's Volpertinger. This is an easy Immolation Aura. Another double jump. Both I-Beams gone, so this is a guaranteed Crimson Sigil runner.
Okay.
They will never catch me.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, everything's just going well here
Yeah.
for CaelesLuna.
Yep, quest completion. That'll get Big Kurt into the hand, and then you just pop off with big healing, I think, this turn to take off any outs.
Big Kurt. Criminal mastermind. You just remember to heal and kill the things and you're good. Whatever you do now, I think.
I bet you can
Yep,
do
Talented
this.
Arcanist. Holy moly. That was a lot of cards. That was a lot.
Yeah, and I'm
of
enjoying the
cards.
attention to detail. I think I'd have given up at some point halfway through that turn and just started I-beaming stuff and getting my turn over with, but CaelesLuna is still maximising things, even though that turn basically ended the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have lost this game because I might have ended up with Moargs on the board and got piercing shotted for a lot of damage. That's a way to lose.
Yeah. Let's see, if this Crimson Sigil Runner picks up a full cost Il'gynoth, it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, 8 mana for I-Beam. And it would be 2 Moargs and our Thero Og Merchant, which wouldn't be enough. But just having that on board would probably be enough.
Demon.
Because there are no Fellscreen Blast left. Both were used for healing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last I-Beam. So this might have to be a win on board kind of game. Use the last I-beam to heal,
Yeah.
and then win on board. Actually, if you can get enough Moargs, there's no philosophy left. And I think this might be it. Because the Il'gynoth now will only be 2 mana, so you could go 2 mana Il'gynoth, 2 mana Moarg, and then 2 1-mana Moargs. That's 6 at their Aug Merchant, and then I-beam. And then that would be +1 spell damage. That would be a 4 spell damage, doubled 3 times, so it would be 8, 16, 32. Yeah, so that's guaranteed next turn.
You look like you love.
Yeah, I thought all the way this was going to be with minions, but actually is going to end it with the combo. Yeah, avoided the mistake of putting the Moargs all over the place there. And
CaelesLuna actually did give an out to DreadEye. 1 fatigue damage would hit. And so aim shot, quick shot, hero power, plus the fatigue shot, that's 11 damage. So there was an out. The second quick shot was an out for DreadEye in that situation. Maybe CaelesLuna could have drawn like 1 less card in that sequence and left the last card to Il'gynoth to take out the final out from DreadEye there. There was a chance.
yes.
So I do like the setup, right? Because getting Kirk down and then knowing that Il'gynoth's going to be 2 mana, that sets up a lethal, and just guaranteeing it with a certain sequence of draws was the big thing. And I think there was a way by holding on to the second charge of Tusk Piercer and then taking the Persistent Petal out of the deck or trading it for the Il'gynoth as the last card or last 2 cards was enough to not take fatigue. But outside of that, I think that was a well-played game.
And up to 2-2, and this Hunter not getting it done. And CaelesLuna down to Rogue? And that's my guess, because Rogue is in CaelesLuna's lineup, and I assume that's the deck that hasn't got a win just by looking at the lineup, without even looking at the games I was supposed to be commentating on.
Yep, Rogue versus Face Hunter. So Rogue has a good amount of tempo, but not as much as there once was. And they can win games incredibly quickly. If you stick a big minion, regardless what it is, right? Battle Master is always going to be threatening with Wicked Stabs. So we'll see. This is a decent curve. Has the Skulker with Foxy Fraud. If the Swindle ends up being picked up, or SI7 agent.
Strictly.
It's a Spy Mistress, which is pretty good as well. To be able to get down on the board next turn if CaelesLuna has to dagger up.
DreadEye needed this tracking. Yeah, needs to sort of go wide because it was out of minions there, which is really weird. The way that Hunter is built right now. If you miss a minion, we saw yesterday, it could just be absolutely devastating. And it has sort of started to put more and more spells in the deck as CaelesLuna is excited, and so am I, TJ, because that is a bunch of cards.
In the shadows.
Bunch of cards, but there's also going to be a lot of damage coming through, right? Oh, Demon Companion.
Again, 2-2 Taunt.
Oh, there we go.
Finally, he deserves one. To be fair, he's had a few chances at this.
Yeah. And what's the follow-up?
How many
Quick shot
trades
to
does he need
3-3?
to make?
Wait,
When do you start counting the damage in your hand, TJ? Is it about now? Because there's a lot of it adding up.
Well, I'm curious about this play. I think Quickshot on the 3/3 made a lot of sense because now, like Ridling's Rifle, I guess Quickshot wants to go face. I don't know. Oh, Foxy Fraud, Scabs, Greyheart Sage. Oh, the ultimate tempo. Whoa,
This never happens.
SI7 agent. Ah, it's so good.
DreadEye's waving at the screen saying, "Stop, stop." What's even happened here? Bly's tweeted that he lost to Rogue earlier and it's not even a deck. But this looks like a deck to me.
Oh, it's a deck. The biggest question is, do trades happen? I'm leaning towards no. I'm absolutely leaning towards no. This could be punished by Rinling's rifle, but maybe DreadEye. Yeah, Rinling. It's got to be Rinling's rifle. And look for explosive.
Hasn't got it.
He didn't hit explosive. No way.
He just threw himself through the back of the blinds there. Disgust.
However, you could pick open the cages. I like that pick because, and bluff the explosive.
Nice.
I like this a lot.
Remember 2015? This used to be an actual play. I don't think we've seen it since. The problem here is, does CaelesLuna have any other way to win other than attacking into it? Like, isn't CaelesLuna kind of forced to go for it anyway? So the bluff is kind of futile?
Yeah, I think you go for it.
Like, why would you want to leave all this mess around? You've got to build your next board and get rid of the...
Just... Oh, man. Oh, sunglasses. There it is.
Nice.
Nice. We've had two sunglasses today.
CaelesLuna is very happy. First time GM, of course, straight into the semi-finals. That's a big deal. That's 3 points guaranteed already on first appearance. That really buys you a little bit of peace of mind. If you do have a disastrous week next week or something, you've still got 3 points. It's a decent start. And obviously power to add and a chance to take on Muzzy tomorrow.
Yeah, that should be a good one. That should be a really good one. Two players that we've seen pop off a lot over the past couple months, CaelesLuna and Masters tours specifically. And a little one there, but that was a nicely played game. I think we're both sides, honestly. That bluff for explosive trap from DreadEye's perspective, that could get the better of some players.
Yes.
Right? You don't want to lose. That was what? 18 damage on board. That was lethal showing, actually, because DreadEye was at 19 and a dagger up would have been lethal. So some players might balk at that, but it was a good attempt nonetheless.
Yeah. DreadEye was a bit unlucky. If he'd had a bit of a board himself to back it up, then I think it would have gone differently, because then CaelesLuna